What's up, guys? This is Dakota from S&D Entertainment, and this is my video talking about Aether Revolt, the pre-release that they had last week, and kind of my thoughts on the set as far as sealed is concerned, and possibly drafting. Um, I went to the Saturday pre-release at my local store. I ended up doing two things that I've never actually done before in a pre-release, let alone a. Well, I guess I did this in a tournament before, but I've went undefeated, going 4-0-1, drawing in my last match to split prizes for top two, and I actually ended up getting first place in this tournament off of tiebreakers, which was something I've never done in a pre-release before. I've top eighted the last 4 or 5 pre-releases that I've done, and the fact that I've actually been able to go undefeated in one finally and then be able to win one is a first for me, and that's really awesome, and it gets me more excited to play the Aether Revolt sealed, like I was playing the Oath and a little bit of the Kaladesh sealed. Um, the deck I played was a blue-white aggro deck, um, which you probably think like, how the hell can those two colors actually play in an aggressive strategy? And just like some of the key cards that I played in, Bastion Inventor, which is a 6 mana 4/4 with hexproof that has improvise, and just to give you some context, my entire deck was basically like artifacts. Like I played a lot of 2 and 3 drop artifacts. I was normally playing this guy on like turn 4, and he crewed all of the vehicles I played in the deck. Um, so it was he was just like in my opinion was the all star in my deck. That and Trophy Mage, which searches for a artifact that costs 3 and puts it into your hand. I had a bunch of good 3 drop artifacts like Chief of the Foundry. There's a guy that you could pay 7 mana to copy an artifact and give it haste, and it was great. I also got the Peace Walker, which turns for 2 mana turns a vehicle creature into a creature until end of turn, and also has crew 4 and a few other good vehicles that, like, whenever they attack they untap a creature I control, or just huge like beefy 8/6 menace trains. But yeah, so my deck was straightforward, like just play a bunch of like cheap creatures with high power so I can crew these huge vehicles, hopefully with just one creature, if not two. I even had a small little theme where I was kind of making Thopters and Servos by casting my artifact spells, paying energy to make servos. So the deck was really cool. When I was initially building it, I thought, nah, this is going to be kind of slow. It's not going to be that good. I didn't think I was going to do that well. And then, of course, I ended up going undefeated and winning off of tiebreakers, beating some really good decks. And before I get into the before I get into like my thoughts on the set and what I think are good color combinations and pairs, me and my girlfriend did this pre-release, and I was really proud because she's been playing for, I want to say, a little over a year, or at least a year, and she ended up top eighting this one, and honestly playing a lot better in pre-releases starting out than I did when I was starting out, and it kind of brings me into what I want to talk about as far as sealed and everything. She played a very aggressive like Mardu deck. It was just playing a bunch of creatures, going wide. I ended up playing her in the tournament. Obviously, ended up winning, but I kind of had a little bit of trouble in the second game where I just was too slow, and she just completely overwhelmed me before I got anything going. And same with the opponent I played in the last round, which we did end up drawing. Ended up playing it out to see who would have won if we played it out. I ended up winning that one 2-1, but a really good color combination, I think, in that's going to be better than blue white for sure, regardless of what cards you pick in a vacuum. Black red, and then black red and another color is going to be really powerful. It's super aggressive. My deck kind of had a problem with dealing with it in the early games. It's only when I got my big beefy creatures out to block their other like little smaller creatures. Obviously, they had a nice top end and like just other big creatures that those colors have, but when compared to the fact that I could get out 4/4s on turn 4 and just kind of wall up and keep myself protected really well and don't mind snapping off chump blocks with my smaller creatures and then using my bigger creatures to crew my vehicles to snap off blocks on their smaller things to kill them. But it's really rough when um, you're being pressured because then you have to put bodies out there as quick as possible so you just don't die and you don't have time to actually put out your vehicles because you have to put out creatures to be able to block rather than playing out your vehicle first and then playing your creature so you can attack with a vehicle because you're not in any real position to be attacking with your vehicles when you're already at 8 and it's turn 5 and all you have is a 4/4 that really isn't going to do much when your opponent's got a grip full of cards. So my thoughts on the set, just as far as like away from actually playing sealed or constructed, I think Aether Revolt is a really like cute set. Like I think it's a lot of fun. Um, Even though it's a smaller expansion than Kaladesh is, since it is just supposed to be like a support set, if you will. I think it's really good. It's got a lot of really good cards I think will impact standard. I'll probably do a video on 5 cards that I think that will impact standard when we finally get it released this weekend, and just see kind of what will happen. There's already a few cards that I have in mind. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I'm really excited to see what Aether Revolt can do as far as impacting standard and even going as far as impacting modern and other formats. We had Kaladesh, who had a few cards leak into vintage and show up in like legacy and modern, and of course we got one of them banned. So it'll be interesting to see and how everything plays out and whatever. I really hope the set holds up, and it's got me really excited to start brewing decks in standard, which I'm already kind of working on right now. But yeah, that's how I did and how Lindsay did in the Aether Revolt pre-releases. My thoughts on the set. If you have different ideas, let me know in the comments what you thought, what your favorite card was, how you did in your pre-release, and what was your all-star for your deck. Like I said, the all-star for mine had to have been the Bastion Inventor. Couldn't remove it because of hexproof. Crewed all my vehicles and was just a super annoying card to deal with on turn 4. But yeah, that's it for the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment on it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I also post sports kind of stuff, and I also do video games a lot. Remember, I am going to start streaming soon, hopefully here in the next month, so be on the lookout for that. I will try to post the streams on the channel as well if you can't be at the stream, but I'm gonna try my best, and I'm also gonna try to go to posting to 2 videos a week if at all possible. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.